Good morning. I was just alerted to it's like an SSA blog piece by the SSA. Um, and I hadn't heard of this, so I'm just wondering if you guys have heard of it. It's the Mobile Check-in Express that apparently you can do if you're going to or you're at a field office. So when I say field office, that's the place you would go if you were going to do some of the basic things like order a replacement card or ask for a benefits letter. I mean, in theory, it seems like you could submit an application or evidence that way too. Although, if you know from my other videos, if you have a disability claim, I do not think you should be going there at all. So, separate aside. Um, anyway, so they're telling us this came out just on the 19th of October, 2023. So it's pretty recent. It's some new feature called Mobile Check-in Express. And it's really not as robust as it might sound like. Like when I first heard it, I thought it meant, wow, I could be at home and I can check in and then I can hop in my car and get there. And by the time I get there, maybe I'll be really close to it being my turn. And I say that because there's a check-in of sorts for, don't laugh, Great Clips, the hair place. And when my kids would need a haircut, and when we were using Great Clips, which I think we just recently stopped because my kids are getting older and they want something a little fancier, I suppose. But you could literally check in and get your spot in line, like a walk-in, and then they tell you how many minutes away your turn is. But even if you don't get there in time, you don't lose your spot in line per se. So they will take the next person that's there and ready, but you will still be in line to be the next one. So it's really super for time saving, particularly for those of us that are really busy parents, right? So I was hoping that that's what this is going to say, but it's not quite like that. So let me just tell you what it's about. Apparently, there's a QR code that is located at your Social Security office. So you have to actually go there and scan in the QR code. It says that this will allow you to check in for scheduled and non-scheduled appointments. So that's good. They're just kind of reminding us that you don't need an appointment to go to the SSA. I mean, sometimes you're not going to get what you want if the person's not prepared. If you want something more complicated, then a regular clerk there can fathom what to do, or they need to order document, whatever. But they give some examples of the services, such as replacing the Social Security card, like I said before, a benefits verification letter, proof of income, and more. It might be similar to the kind of things you can get online at your My SSA account connection with the Social Security Administration, their file on you. And if you are unfamiliar with that, I think you can get to that by going to ssa.gov/my account, and then you connect yourself. But that's separate from this. When I say connect yourself, it's like to get into your account, you have to be able to prove that it's you. So they ask you certain questions, and then you probably have a password that you develop, you create, and then you can get in there much easier the next time. That's not what this is. This is all about checking in when you go physically to your Social Security office for something. And they make it clear, for it to work, you must be at the Social Security office and have location services on your device, which is probably going to be your phone. They say it works with, you want to have the latest version of your internet browser, and it's most compatible with Safari, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Firefox. And then once you express check in and you're already there, they say you have to be in the office when your ticket number is called. And so you're going to want to enable your mobile notifications so that you're going to receive your electronic ticket so that you know your place in line. They're going to alert you when they're ready to help you. They're going to provide you with your interview location information. I assume that means like which desk you go to, you know, like at DMV and places like that. As I say, they have like desk 1, you know, or teller number 10. And then, of course, they want to invite you to participate in their feedback survey. So curious about people think about that. The only thing I think this actually is doing is allowing them maybe to reduce a staffer having to check people in. They're still going to have the staffer probably because some people aren't going to be able to do this. But I think a lot will be able to do it. So maybe that person's load is lighter and maybe they can take on some other tasks. So maybe it is a cost saving measure in the end because that staffer that would have been only checking people in, maybe now that staffer can be doing something else productive since people will be checking themselves in. So in that regard, yeah, it's good. It's not as good as, Great Clips. Is that a plug for Great Clips? I don't actually mean it that way. Although it's a great system. I mean, you could literally, you didn't lose your spot in line if you were late. We weren't really late, but it was nice to know if you got stuck in traffic or something. Excuse me. Anyway, that's it. Mobile Express check-in at your field office. I assume they are all going to have this or have it now since it's been put out there. I don't know. All right, here you go. Have fun with it. And again, if you have a disability case, I don't like people going to the SSA office at all. They take a little note, oftentimes, and it describes how you appear and what they observe to be any disability. So if you look like you're fairly normal and your impairments are not visibly on your forehead, that can come back and be a notation that she's fine. For what that's worth. So I always, my folks are explicitly told not to go. If they need to deliver something like a birth certificate to be reviewed by the SSA, I ask them to get someone else to do it, such as their spouse or someone else they trust. It would be very rare indeed that they would be going. I just don't want it. Just like I don't want them to talk to anybody either. All right. Bye, guys.